Good morning, scrapping friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Creating Your Memories. I'm Deborah Kozlovic, and I'm a Creative Memories Independent Advisor from Australia. Today, I want to share with you a Christmas layout that you can all create along with me, or you can attempt this later on. So today, I'm going to show you a layout using a designer piece of paper with a border maker cartridge and doing a fold over edge. This is the layout that I will be showing you today. So we've border makered the system on the four sides of the designer paper and we're folded over the edge. And the products that you will need to complete this layout are any designer paper will do, depending on what border cartridge that you might be using. But today, to create my layout, which I'll do similar to the same effect as I've completed this one, the designer paper that I will be using today is the Totally Tonal Christmas designer paper pack. There are 6 sheets, double-sided printed papers in this paper pack. So you get 2 sheets of each. So you've got 3 different designs. With the designs, you have the red plaid, and on the reverse is the red gingham. Then you have a green plaid, and then like a green gingham. So they actually blend together. And then you also have a multicolored with the red and the greens. It's like a plaid crossed with a gingham shape colouring. Very nice paper. And then on the back you have the lighter colour. 6 sheets, double-sided, in this Total Tonal Christmas designer paper. And coordinating with these Total Tonal Christmas designer papers, you also can purchase the Total Tonal border stickers. So these are the border stickers. So I used 2 of those border stickers from this sticker pack to complete my layout. So we will be using those. They're variety mats as well, but if you have these, great, you can use these as well, but they are optional. And of course I will be using the Poinsettia Edge border maker cartridge. And to back my layout today, I will be using the cranberry cardstock. On the previous layout that I completed, I used the scarlet cardstock, which is now not available. So I will be using the cranberry on this one that I'm doing today. But as you can see, the cranberry blends wonderfully with the colors that I am using. So to start off, we want our designer piece of paper. We want to get our border maker system out, and our housing and our border cartridge. So I'm just going to slot that cartridge in the border maker system, opening up my tray, loading my paper onto the tray and closing down the arm and flipping back. So to complete this layout, you have on your border maker system that most of you know that you have little notches which the housing locks into. So to complete this layout, we want to skip the first notch and the last notch. So we're going to start on our second. So if I put my housing into the arm, and as you can see, it's locking. So I want to go down to my next one and punch. And then we want to continue down to the third, and then the fourth, and then the fifth. So I want to miss the first and the last. So now we want to complete that process on our next 3 sides. So I'm loading my paper into the loading tray, turning it back, and we're going to miss the first one and go to the second one, then to the third, the fourth, and the 5th. So we'll unload that one again. So we're turning our paper, loading it in, putting down the arm, and then we're going to go to the second one and then punch down till you get to the second last notch. So now we'll complete our last side. So just getting all that confetti out of the way. So we're going to miss the first, go to the second, and the third, then the 4th, and the 5th. So just unloading that. So you can put your border maker system away because we won't need that again. So now I'm going to bring in my scissors and I'm just going to snip off the little leftovers on the 4 sides. So I'm just going around snipping it off where it's so now we have our punched 4 sides. And then we have our corners. So now on the corners, we're going to fold over. If it makes it easy, you can use your 12-inch trimmer, or you can freehandly fold them over. But if you have a scoring blade for your 12-inch trimmer, you can actually score that and then fold it over freehandly, or you can do it this way. So I'm going to line my corners up onto my cutting strip, so from point to point, and then just go over that a couple of times. So I'm going to repeat that process on the other 4 sides. So I'm just going to put that aside. So now that I've scored my little triangle corners, I can now just fold them over. So as you can see, there is our start of our base layout. So with the little bits that are sticking up, I'm just going to use a little bit of repositional tape to hold them down. So just do that on your 4 sides. Just bringing in the cranberry cardstock. And as you can see, that sits nicely there, and each corner will match, so it's easy to lay out and easy to center. So now I'm going to adhere that down on the cranberry. So I'm just going to put some repositional on the poinsettia edge, using my tape runner for the corner bits. A little bit in the middle. So now we'll just line this up. I think that's about it. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of push down. So there's our base. On the other one I did use designer paper. On this one I'm going to be using some Kelly green cardstock. This is our new cardstock out, the Kelly green. And I've cut 4 mats in a square measuring 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So to taking it off with the other one. So I've got them in the four in the middle, and then when I bring in my other one, you can see that I've put a border sticker in the middle to break that off. That looks separated. So when I did that, I used two of the border stickers, and I used the green leaf and the Happy Holly Jolly Christmas. So I'm just going to leave that open for now because I do want to show you a different way of also using this design today. So using that, and then I used my variety mats. So just one of my variety mats, and I cut that one down measuring a 4x4. And I placed that on one of the corners so that way one of my squares can be used for journaling. So I've gone back through my card mats, and I found that the only one that will probably suit this design if I cut it down to a 4x4 is this circle one here, because all the others have the longer journal plate, so it's not going to work correctly in this square. So now I would bring in my trimmer, and I would trim this one to a 4x4 square. So with it being a circle, so I'm just going to use my centering ruler. So I know that the length from here to here is 6.5, and it is 4.5 wide. My circle is 3.5. So I want to make it 4. So I need to have an extra quarter on the end. So 4x4, 4.5. So I want to take a quarter of this side, and that will give me my 4x4, and this can be placed directly on the 4.25. So there you have your little journaling box using the variety mats. So then when you put your photos down, your photos will also be the 4x4. And I placed my photo mat down, and then I used a little embellishment on the corner. So the other option that I was going to show you would be, instead of using the 4 photos or 3 photos on your layout, you could use your variety mats if you have variety mats. And the opposite side of the variety mats, they have the plain design. So on one side you have like a journaling side, and on the opposite is the plain side. And you can also use these cards as matting. So you can put your 6x4 photo straight down on this variety mat, and you can use that as a matted photo. So these variety mats, these bigger ones, are 4.5 by 6.5, and then you have your smaller ones which are 4x6. So with these larger ones, you can use either for your matting. So I'm just going to find a color that will match with my designer paper here today. Spotted doesn't look too bad. I think I might go with the green. So if you want to just have one photo on your layout, you can have the one photo. You can have it centered, or you can have it off to the side. And the other thing that you can do with these smaller variety mats, some of them have little titles, or you've got sayings about Christmas, etc. on these cards. So you can actually use one of these cards as one of your titles on your layout. If you only want to use a photo, then you can have a title. You might not want to do any journaling. This is another option that you can do to complete your layout. So you've got your bigger one here. So you're going to place a, let's just say that this is our photo. Just get plain side. Just say that this is our photo. So your photo is sitting on your 6.5 by 4.5 photo mat. Then you've got your 6 by 4 photo. And then you have your Merry Christmas title sign. So you might want to slot that underneath. You can use it as a title. You might want to do it longer ways, the vertical way. And then exactly the same sort of thing. You might want to, you know, have this underneath. Another way of doing it, you can also have it vertical. You can also cut off the Merry Memories and place underneath. I think I said before Merry Christmas. It's actually Merry Memories, not Merry Christmas. My mistake from that earlier. So you can also do it different ways of completing your layout. Then again, you might, you know, want the one photo. You might have a landscape photo here, and then after putting your page protector, or if you're using a pocket page, you could then use a pocket, and then you might have a couple of photos. So going back to these smaller ones, you might want to use seasonal sightings, and then you'll have another photo underneath, and then you've got your photo. So you can use your little pockets to do that also, of adding an extra photo onto your layout. And you could do exactly the same thing when you're using your, you know, your 4 1/4, placing them back onto your layout as so. By using this one, you could have a 4 by 4 pocket page. I mean, a pocket, and then you can, you know, add an extra couple of photos, even on the bottom one here, and you can add a few extra photos on top of that. Or you might want to hide your journaling, then you can add some photos over that side. So there's a little tip and of using the poinsettia edge to make a layout using a different technique, and some other ideas of setting out your page layout. If you enjoyed my video today, please give me some love, like my video, like my channel, so you don't miss out on any more videos. If there's any comments, feel free to drop a comment and I'll be happy to get back to you. I hope you enjoyed what I've shown you today, and happy scrapping.